So today I want to talk about where we are, where we've been, and where we're going. Does that sound good? Okay. In the Taoist tradition, Tzu Jan means the constant unfolding of things. Tzu Jan. And, Tzu Jan is really a way of life because life itself is forever unfolding. And we are in constant motion of being unfolded with it. Not great for those who like to be doing the folding, but it's all right. Tzu Jan, the unfoldment of things. This life that we get to live requires surrender. It requires allowing. It requires that we get really comfortable with the unfolding of things. And speaking of the unfolding of things, next week, our daughter McKenna is coming home from college. We're so excited. It's been a long time, since we've seen her. And thinking about the unfoldment of things, it includes, not only our maturity, but our spiritual maturity. This isn't our first rodeo. McKenna is daughter number 3. And what I know is that she will come home changed, just like we have all here today, those of us that are here in this space, those of you online, we have come home today changed. We are not the same as the last time we were in this building. A few weeks ago, a while back, my husband and I were watching TV, and it was the very beginning of the TV show, and there was a scene where it looked like this desolate, empty city. There was just paper floating in the wind, and it looked kind of ominous and weird, and I thought, oh, this is odd. We must be on the wrong channel. It must be some sci-fi thing. This is the wrong show. And I looked up, and then I saw on the screen that it was actually Times Square in New York City because it said COVID-19 protocols. And it was actual drone footage from the height of lockdown. And I had to take a breath. And then on the screen it said 3 months earlier, New Year's Eve, 2020. And then was this juxtaposition of all these people crammed into Times Square, and the ball was dropping. No masks, of course. It was the before times. Right? Remember those? And then the clock struck midnight and everyone began to sing Auld Lang Syne. And my husband, David, and I, just without even thinking, automatically grabbed our hands, and tears came because we realized that the before times were an innocent time, that we have changed so much since that time, and that time will never be back. We had tears that we were just shedding for that innocence lost. And let me tell you, January of 2020 didn't feel like a very innocent time. There was a lot happening in our country politically. There was a lot going on, and yet now in comparison, right? We shed tears for our loved ones, all of our collective loved ones, over 700,000 now that have passed on. And there was a recognition, a deep recognition that we have been changed. Here's the thing, my loves. It's up to us to decide how we go forward. It is up to us to decide how that collective experience grew us and is growing us. Are you with me? So my question for you is, what has been revealed in this time? I did a talk way back in the very beginning of lockdown because I saw everywhere the banding about the word apocalypse. Remember that? We were all wiping down our groceries and we didn't have a vaccine and we didn't know what was happening. We didn't know anything. And it felt very apocalyptic. Throughout the ancient world, apocalyptic literature merely meant an unveiling or a revealing. And what I want to bring into this space today is there has been a revealing, there has been an unveiling for us. And it is a gift, it is the blessing of all of it. If we can just open our eyes, open our ears, have, as Jesus of Nazareth said, the ears to hear. We all have ears, not all of us really deeply hear. This is that opportunity. So, it's a given that none of us, not one single person, is the same as we were in New Year's of 2020. Because when we learn, we grow, and when we grow, we change. So let's talk about change today. There's been change here. There will be more as we move along. Change. The great feminist poet Adrienne Rich said, "The moment of change is the only poem." The moment of change is the only poem. And I invite you to just really lean in and investigate what you learned about yourself during this time so that it will not be in vain. It cannot be in vain. Maybe for you, consider investigating what you learned. Maybe you got in touch with some of your dreams, your loves, your pain, your joy. And if you don't know, I invite you to ask that divine intelligence within you. Remember last week, I explained the metaphysical meaning of light is divine intelligence. So tune into that light, that divine intelligence within yourself. Tap into that wisdom and just ask your inner knower. Ask your inner knower, as the Quakers call it. The first question, where am I holding myself back? This might lead you to some revelation, to some revealing, to some unveiling. Where am I holding myself back? And in what area of my life can I love myself more? You know what area that is. What area of your life can you love more? Maybe you can be more compassionate with yourself. Or maybe it's about speaking your truth or standing up for yourself or giving more or learning how to receive more. Maybe it's about finally releasing your anger or your shame. Don't hold on to shame. Maybe it's about creating boundaries for yourself. Maybe it's about remembering your worth or allowing yourself to love yourself more. Allow yourself to lean into the joy that is waiting for you beneath the shame, beneath the pain, beneath the fear. Whatever it is for you, I invite you to just in this moment make a mental note just for yourself, or you might want to jot it down. Because embracing this, really making this conscious for yourself in this way, specific to coming back to the building, to coming back to this place, embracing this will change you for the better. It will. We're all a choice, and it will change you for the better. When you think about it, this Tzu Chan, this unfolding of life, really, all it is it just asks us to love more. Every single thing I just mentioned is connected back to loving more, loving ourselves more, and being willing to love others the way Spirit loves, without condition. You don't have to like someone's bad behavior, but it's about loving. In a nutshell, it's always and forever about your willingness to love. Anne Lamott wrote, "If you're lucky, you will find your way into a spiritual community, and you start to find the great teachers of all the ages who said the same thing. There's only love. You're made of love." Across all religious tradition, all faith paths, that's the message. That's it right there. So how do we do that? How do we take what we have learned or are learning or are leaning into about ourselves this past, 21 months-ish, and implement it into our lives? So how do we do that? How do we allow this change to transform our being, to help us become more loving? In Greek mythology, Mount Olympus was considered to be a place of great power. It's where all the gods lived. It was considered to be the place where heaven and earth met. And back then, it was like the ideal destination, Mount Olympus, symbolizing all things powerful and good. And there's a story about a traveler in ancient Greece who lost his way. And he was on this road and he was seeking to find it. And he stopped and he asked a man by the roadside where Mount Olympus was. And this man turned out to be none other than Socrates himself. He asked, "How can I reach Mount Olympus? How do I reach Mount Olympus?" And Socrates replied very gravely, "Just make every step you take go in that direction." Just make every step you take go in that direction. That is how we can implement what we have learned during this time, to make every step we take move towards that new direction of being and becoming. It means staying awake. It means spiritual practice. It means being diligent and trusting that with every step, you are getting there to the transformation within your being. And the great news is that in spiritual community, we support you in this. Isn't that cool? Because we're all on this path together, every single one of us. And we can do this, which brings me to where we are today. Here we are, finally back inside our sanctuary, our beloved sanctuary, after having been gone for so long. And Malachi and I, my little dog, our new dog, Malachi and I, we go on lots and lots and lots of walks now. And that's just, I tell you, my walks, I talk out loud on my walks. I mean, Mally's used to it, but I contemplate God and the divine. God bless my neighbors and the people on the trail. Because I will literally be on the trail and I'd be like, Spirit, 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 tell me, fill me. And then it's like, oh, excuse me, pardon me, sorry. The thing is that I was on one of my walks with God, with the divine, with Spirit, with love. Malachi completely ignoring me. And what came to me was this question about, now what? Now what? Now that we're in this brick and mortar building, now that we're here, now that we've brought you online inside with us, now what? What does it actually mean to have a home? What does it actually mean? This home that, as Ernest Holmes said, was built by the hand of love. Our spiritual home is built by the hand of love. This newly carpeted foundation that we stand on today, and those of you online who join us on terra firma. Terra firma is just a Latin term that means firm or solid ground. This terra firma that we have all created together is much larger than any one of us. It's much, much larger. Our foundation, what we stand on, my friends, is the wisdom of the ages. Our foundation, what we stand on, is the sacred, ancient, interfaith, universal spiritual truths throughout human history. What we stand on is the shoulders of the countless metaphysicians and metaphysical teachers who taught way before it was hip or cool or a New York Times bestseller list that science and spirituality are actually interconnected. And that we are all a crucial part of this web of life, and we are active participants in the oneness of all of it, everything from the smallest atom to the greatest technology, vaccines, to stardust, and every single thing in between. We are all a part of it. And we are not at the mercy of this world, but we are co-creating with the divine this world in every breath and every choice and every moment we have to love and to love more. And this physical place is a tangible reminder of this. This physical place, you online joining us in this physical place, is a tangible reminder of our belonging. That we belong to each other. For those of you who have just found us online, or you're here in person, maybe even for the first time, or seeing this sanctuary for the first time, you're in for a treat. Because this place is a gift. There is grace in this place. This place holds sacred memories of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of services and songs and music here. Even before we in New Thought, even before New Thought Center for Spiritual Living was here, right? There are so many sacred memories of births and christenings and deaths and celebrations of life. The ahas that have happened in these walls, yes? And the little ones that we watched grow up, our fur babies that we brought into our lives, the LGBTQIA siblings who came out in this safe space, the weddings, the divorces, the forgiving, the diagnoses, the triumphs, the grief, the love found, and the lives found in this place. This, what we get to call our spiritual home, is our place of growth. It is our place of belonging, and it is our place of becoming. And now, after having been away for so long, by the miracle of love itself, our foundation, this terra firma, this solid ground of belonging, is felt not just here, but out in the world. Hi, world. We love you so much. This love, this belonging has extended across the United States over these near 2 years, and Mexico and India and Spain and Germany. We get to expand these memories and share them on a broad level, getting this message of love out into the world. We've grown into a spiritually global community that is dedicated to these spiritual principles. And isn't it amazing that we live in a time where we can do this? Isn't it incredible? This is change. This is significant change for this community. And here is the thing, this foundation that we all stand on, wherever you may be in the world, is inextricably linked to what we stand for. To what we stand for. That is why we are here. Archimedes said, "Give me a place to stand on, and I will move the earth." We get to move the earth. In this global spiritual community, as we move forward together on this path, wherever you are in your journey, we get to do the work of making this world a better place for all people together in this space and globally, wherever we live. How do we do this? We do this through love, through revolutionary love. Valerie Kaur wrote, "Revolutionary love is an awakening to the inherent dignity and beauty of others and the earth, a quieting of the ego, a way of moving through the world in relationship, asking, what is my part in your flourishing? This is how love changes the world." So where is our spiritual community headed? We love even bigger, my friends. We love even bigger. And we put this love to our feet. We step into the activity of love, which means not only being dedicated to our own spiritual growth, which is absolutely paramount, but we also are fully dedicated to creating a circle of belonging for all human beings. Sometimes this looks like marches or peaceful protests. It also looks like vigils, educating ourselves about the facts. It looks like service days and reaching out to communities around us that are underfunded and hurting. It looks like voting our principles and paying it forward and tithing to the places that live our values out in the world. It looks like building on what we have already been doing, creating a caring corner and a robust community assist fund so that we can help those in our own community here who are in need. It looks like putting together refugee restart kits. Thank you to all of you who have done that. It looks like supporting those who are in need. Engaging in social justice is a spiritual practice. And that, my loves, is what we are here to do. And we've only just begun. I suggest that we, like the wonderful co-chair of the Poor People's Campaign, Reverend William Barber, said, shock this nation with the power of love. Can we do that? Can we do that? And I want to go a step further. Shock this nation with the power of love, and shock the New Thought movement with the power of love. As activists, spiritual activists, again, always doing our own work, but allowing that then to fuel our energies forward to support others with revolutionary love. We are here to experience greater ease and love in our own lives. Our teachers, our classes, and our teachers all support that. We are here to walk each other, supporting the most tender moments in our lives, whether here or online, and in celebrating our greatest joys. We are here to help restore Mother Earth. We are here to become the dream of our soul's longing. And we, beloveds, are here to stand where we are and move the earth to a place of dignity for all human beings and peace in our lifetime. Welcome home.